This is Sports Talk with Hardball Unlimited. Let's go. Hello everyone, I'm Chris.
Josh.
Chad.
This is Sports Talk with Hardball Unlimited, episode 2. Today we're going to, this is our first sponsored video, Nellie's Hideaway in Ontario, the coldest beer in town. Be sure to go check them out. Today's rundown starts with local high school sports. The Phillies versus the Astros. Will Judge be a Yankee? Tennessee versus Georgia. General college football talk. Ohio State and Michigan as always. Pro football talk and our Thursday night football picks. So let's jump right in. We'll start with high school sports. We had a bunch of high school football games. You want to start out, Josh?
Yeah, went to the Crestview game. Crestview Patrick Henry is a really good football game, close football game, 17-14. And really they kind of just traded blows back and forth a little bit. Mays gets that touchdown late in the fourth quarter, puts them up 23-14, but I think the gut buster was Patrick Henry drives back down the field, and then was a 98-yard pick six from Hayden Kuhn.
Yeah.
I think that pretty much sealed the deal. Even though Patrick Henry still come back and scored there, but I think that was a gut puncher.
Yeah, and they'll move on. They'll play Columbia next week, somewhere up north. We'll find that out later next Saturday. Also in high school football, Mansell Senior won, correct?
Yeah, played a really tough Defiance team, but I think Defiance shot themselves in the foot with 7 penalties for 66 yards in the first half, and I think it was a total of 170 negative yards in the game. Like you're just not going to beat Mansfield Senior like.
Lucas also won, correct?
Lucas also won.
Lucas also won. I know. Also outside of football, Temple Christian defeated Christian Academy to finish third in the state, and losing though to Christian Community. So that's high school sports talk. Let's move on to talk about the Phillies Astros. Chad, go ahead and start us off.
Astros World Series champions.
That's a fact.
I mean, the bullpen in the Astros just dominant. Really, I thought was the key to them winning the World Series. After the 6th inning, you have a lead. You can go Abreu, Neris, just throw out every arm that throws 99 with a wipeout slider. I thought the Astros were just simply better.
Oh, there's no doubt. They were the better baseball team and timely hitting too. Like the other than Schwarber, Phillies didn't have anything.
They didn't. I mean, they lived and died by the long ball. And they just struck out, to me, way too much. Like, everybody in that lineup was striking out. Reese Hoskins, Real Muto, and then, game 5, Chaz McCormick up against the fence.
What a play.
What a play. Yeah.
Probably the defensive play of the series, I think.
For sure.
Absolutely. And then you got, last night, Alvarez, Jordan, big bomb off Alvarado, who's Philly's guy, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's who they bring in. He's their high leverage guy. So, hats off to the Astros. I just thought they were overall better.
Definitely happy for Dusty Baker.
Absolutely.
Guy gave his life to baseball, ends up getting rewarded there at the end. Not once did I ever root for the Astros in this series. But I will not lie, a little smile on my face when the coaches all hugged Dusty. And you can tell how much he means to that team. A lot of guys went to Dusty before they even worried about themselves.
Absolutely. That was the chant, right? Do it for Dusty.
Yeah.
The real question though is how many more years does he got?
Well, last night they asked him, said, what comes after this? He goes, well, 1-1, now 1-2.
Yeah.
So,
You got to want to.
Yeah, you got to
Well, you got that team. Could very well be a dynasty. Like
Could be.
they keep those core guys around. You keep Pena, you keep Altuve. Like it's gonna be hard to not stay with that team.
Yeah.
They need another offense. To me, they're really good. They play really good defense. Jeremy Pena, you don't know if you get that again.
Right.
I think he's the first rookie position player to win the World Series MVP.
Yep.
So hats off to him, but do you get that production next year? You just don't know.
Right.
And the bullpen, if 2 arms go down, offensively they weren't great. Houston wasn't great.
No.
Like, they didn't hit the ball out of the park like they could. Alvarez struggled. Altuve struggled. Like,
I mean, I think we all can agree that was a much better series than it should have been.
I thought it was a great World. Like, to me, it was a great World Series.
Like, but it shouldn't have been great. Houston was that much better than the Phillies. They should have. Like, it wouldn't have been hard to say those sweet.
No, but I thought it was a good World Series for baseball. Like,
Yeah.
whether you love the Astros or hate the Astros, it had a little bit of everything. Like, I like pitching and defense. Like, 2-1 games, you got one.
Right.
If you like offense, the Phillies, 7 runs on 5 bombs. You know, like,
Come from behind win. Yeah.
come from behind wins.
Not
Like,
once, but twice.
twice, yeah. I mean, I thought it was a really good World Series, at least for baseball. Like, no game was 9 hours long. It was pretty fast paced. I thought it was a great World Series, honestly.
I'm ready for spring training.
Yeah,
I'm
5 months.
too.
Let's get
5
it
months.
done.
All right, we'll move on. We'll talk about some of Josh's favorite topic. Will Judge be a Yankee next year?
No.
I think it comes down to probably New York and San Francisco in case he wants to go home. I know people are talking about the Mets. I don't see the Yankees getting outbid by the Mets. I don't think they let it happen.
I don't know why you don't see that.
I think
They don't spend money anymore. You guys don't
yeah,
spend
but
money.
it's Judge. I don't know if they can let Judge walk. If Judge leaves, I think it'll be because he wants to leave. I don't.
Why wouldn't you want to leave? You just got booed in the playoffs when you
You
hit
did.
62 home runs.
You
62 home runs for your team. The single reason they made it to the playoffs,
Oh yeah,
Anyway.
he carried him. I definitely.
and then you boo
Yeah. He was terrible.
Yeah.
him. He was bad.
He was bad. Wait, let's not sugarcoat it. It was bad.
But again, I think anytime you sign a contract or get drafted by the New York Yankees, you know, like you've got to perform. Like, you just know it. And it doesn't matter what you did. If you go as bad as he did, that fan base will let you know they're not happy.
I mean, he as bad as he was, he still got. He had a couple.
Listen.
A couple big ones.
I'm not saying I'd do him. I wouldn't say that at all. I'm just saying, playing there. If you don't perform at anything, it's what have you done for me lately?
Did Derek Jeter ever get booed?
What's Derek Jeter?
I'm just saying, like,
Let's
he
call
was-
it as
he was never-
no Derek Jeter.
he was never in a like 5 for 30 song. I'm sure he was.
Oh, I'm sure he was. But
Yeah.
you got to remember, though, come playoff time, as great as growing up as the Yankees were when I was growing up, there's a lot of times I can tell you Jeter come up with a big clutch hit. And I think he got a little leeway for what he
Judge is the only
Judge
reason
doesn't
your
have
team
that?
is relevant.
Judges never ran.
Judge is the only reason your team is relevant.
Listen,
None of them have rings.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying I would boo him. I'm just telling you I would compare Aaron Judge to Derek Jeter, and I'm a big Judge fan.
What if he goes to Boston?
I hate it.
I mean, like,
That would be a gut punch.
it hasn't been Boston's ever.
Listen, I'll tell you this. If Aaron Judge goes somewhere other than Boston, I'd still root for Aaron Judge. I still would.
Maybe he goes to
If he
Houston?
goes to the Mets,
Yeah, I'd still like Aaron Judge.
if he went to the Mets,
Even if he went to the Mets, I still
he's lying. There's no way.
I would like the Yankees to beat him every time they play, but I wouldn't just hate the guy. Now, if you put a Red Sox jersey on, you're dead.
I mean, to be honest, though, he did say to his daughter that if she went to Ohio State, he would root for her the best individual season in history and lose to Michigan.
I did.
So,
I did.
That's wrong.
yeah, it's just wrong.
The Buckeyes are nice people.
Hey, your closest friends are Buckeyes, so what does that say about you?
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are more acquaintances.
We will be in a couple weeks.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. Tennessee versus Georgia. What a football game. Not really, though, because Tennessee sucked. They just got owned by Georgia. Manhandled.
Up front wasn't even close.
Really, were you surprised?
I thought Tennessee would come out with a little more fire. You know what I
I
mean?
think Tennessee got pushed a little bit, and maybe Georgia got pushed on the back burner. And probably in their locker room, they're probably like, "What's all the hype? Like, you're champs. You're the champs."
Like, I really thought Tennessee would come out with more fire. I didn't think it'd be 21, or they give up 14 points in like 2 minutes. Like, it was
Georgia looked
good.
good.
yeah,
Like, it looked like men against
Yeah.
For a while. I mean, I don't think that game was as close as the score was.
No.
It could have been. It could have been way worse.
Yeah, I agree. But I think Georgia had a chip on her shoulder a little bit. Tennessee getting number one in the rankings.
Well, hopefully we can dismiss Tennessee. Like, let's just throw them.
Get rid of them now.
The
Get rid of them now.
The hard part is, like, if Tennessee would have beat Georgia, I think the Wolverines is number 4. I think Tennessee's going to stick at number 4 now.
No.
I mean,
They're going from 1 to what? Like,
I think they go to
Alabama
5 or 6.
Alabama and LSU, or Alabama just lost to LSU. Clemson just lost, like, to Notre Dame.
TCU though.
So Michigan is either going to be Michigan or Tennessee. TCU can't play. They don't play anybody.
Oh, listen,
And they don't play no defense.
no one thinks highly of the Big 12 and what they've done, but I'm just saying that they're still undefeated.
I complete 60% of my passes in the Big 12. I really do. They don't play any defense.
All right. So before we move on to Michigan Ohio State, we're gonna take a quick timeout, and Chad's gonna talk to you about the Phillies Astros series. So we'll be right back.
Phillies Astros, Game 6. Astros win the World Series. Great World Series in my opinion. I really thought the difference was the Astros bullpen. After the 6th inning, Framber Valdez, great start. 1 home run to Kyle Schwarber. After that, the Phillies bullpen, Neris to Abreu to Presley. World Series over. Congratulations, Houston. Congratulations, Philly. You probably should not have been there, but you were. And I think the future is bright in Philly. I think Nola Wheeler is a great 1-2 punch. I think they need a couple arms in the bullpen. Alvarado, maybe ridden a little too hard, gave up a 450-foot blast to Yordan Valdez. Basically, World Series over at that point. Astros bullpen, like I said, came in, shut the door. Philly, congratulations. Houston, congratulations. They deserved a World Series. I think Houston needs a little more offense to repeat. I think it's definitely possible. Like I said, I think Philly needs a couple arms in the bullpen and maybe a couple guys that don't strike out 50 times a World Series.
All right, and we're back. Thanks, Chad, for that riveting conversation about the Phillies Astros series. We're going to go back to Ohio State and Michigan. Ohio State played in one of the weirdest football games I've ever seen. Crazy football games. That win was just insane. Do I think the Buckeyes look very good? No, I did. It's hard when you can't run the football when you have that kind of win.
It is.
But I mean, they still came out on top. Just win, baby, right?
Right.
Say.
It's hard to run the football when they know you have to run the football.
Yeah.
Like, listen, Ryan Day, I think, said after the game, he's like, I've never played in conditions like this ever in my life. That was crazy.
What do you think, Josh?
Yeah, I think the weather really hampered the game a little bit. I mean, obviously Ohio State's better than Northwestern. It's one of the things, like I said last week's episode, people said they want everybody's in the uproar. Everybody I talked to, like, oh man, we're just not very good. Crappy conditions, and they won. In the grand scheme of things, Ohio State plays well in the fourth quarter, and they do what they need to do. That's why they're always, to me, going to be a dangerous team.
Oh, 100%. The rough part is we haven't looked good in 3 weeks. We haven't looked like the team that should be number 2 in the country in 3 weeks. Now, do I think we're the number 2 team in the country? Yes. But we got to fix some things up front, and our secondary has to play much better.
I think we need to be a little more physical up front.
Well, and that was the big question coming into this year. Are they soft? Are they tough? Are the Buckeyes tough?
Well, I mean, they're undefeated.
Yeah, for sure. The hard part is I watched Georgia play yesterday, and like the last 3 games, we don't beat Georgia if we play like we had the last 3 games.
No.
Georgia looked good. Georgia looked real good.
But how does Georgia look in 60-mile-an-hour winds?
That's true. I think they run the football better than we do.
Well, listen, I mean, Northwestern had 9 guys in the box. What? Yeah. They just stopped the run.
Yeah, for sure. They saw what we had to do and they took it away, and made it a much closer game than it probably would have been in normal weather.
I agree.
We'll move on. Michigan played Rutgers yesterday, and they put it on.
Yeah, well, listen, the first half, Michigan was down. I thought Rutgers played probably a little bit above what they normally would play, and good form. Michigan is a run-first offense, and I think they were down in the red zone 2 different possessions at the 1-yard line and had to score on a 4th down. I mean, Rutgers was playing pumped up, got the lead in the second half, but Michigan come out that second half and did to a 4-14 win this year.
For sure.
Just beat them up.
For sure. You look at the differences between that Ohio State football team and that Michigan football team. They're polarly different, completely different teams, completely different styles of football. We want to spread you out and let Marvin Harrison Jr. tear you apart. They want to pound the rock down your throat.
Yeah. I mean, Jim Hardball comes back from old school Bush and Beckler, running the football, dominant Big Ten, type of stuff back in the day.
Dominant Big Ten.
So
when was that?
Well, I meant like they just want to dominate their opponents in the run. That's the way the Big Ten was for a long time back in the day, and that's the way Jim Hardball still wants to run his offense.
For sure.
Are you confident going into the Buckeyes game?
Listen, I mean the Buckeyes always scare me. Past history,
They should.
says it all the time. After last year's win was kind of nice, but I think Michigan's good.
It was kind of nice. You haven't seen it in like 11 years.
I know. That gives me a little more confidence. But that was with a different quarterback. But I do think JJ is a better quarterback.
So you're avoiding the question. Are you confident in your Michigan Wolverines to beat your house?
I think they could be Ohio State.
Could?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Northwestern could have beat them.
Yeah.
Listen, I think they can beat Ohio State. I'm not going to go out and give you a prediction and say, Ohio State's going to lose.
I put that. Say Ohio State's going to lose.
I respect Ohio State a lot more than some. So, Michigan plays like they have been playing. Absolutely, they can win that game.
Sure. What do you think, Chad? What do you think about that?
I don't like it. I think the Buckeyes.
I think the Buckeyes are more talented than Michigan is. I think Michigan plays very consistent football. They do what they do, and they do it well. Ohio State hasn't played very consistent football compared to Michigan right now. I think we're way more talented than they are. Athletically talented, everything. Michigan plays consistently, does what they do well every week.
Well, I mean, it's not a secret of what they would have to do. They'd have to be able to run the football, and then not be able to give up the big play. That has been one of the biggest things in that game in the past. Is Michigan gives up the big play to Ohio State all the time. If they can avoid that and run the football on Ohio State's defense, yeah, absolutely, I think they can.
Well, listen, I think Ohio State's defense is a little different this year. Like last year, they were really susceptible to the run.
Right.
Like I felt like they played way better this year against the run.
Oh, I mean, like I said it last week, we went into that game, gave up 14 points at halftime, and like I said, like if I know that we gave up 14 points, I think we're up 3 scores.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like that's just our defense giving up 14 points at half. We should win. Like
I do feel like they need somebody on the outside to step up.
Yeah.
Outside of Marvin Harrison, because Abuke,
he's had a lot of bad drops.
he can't get separation. Like, how can you not get separation against a Northwestern defender?
Right.
Like, you can't get, like...
I mean, that's pretty much the same as a Michigan defender.
Well, kind of, but, I mean, it's basically like, if it's not Harrison, that's the case over.
For sure.
And,
That's the boy.
yeah, but, I mean, they need Jackson Smith and Jigba back.
Yes, you do.
Because, Marvin Harrison is really good, but probably not going to take too many shots.
No.
With Harrison.
Well, Harrison's great at those intermediate, great route runner.
Yeah.
Great catching the ball across the field, but he's not a deep ball threat.
No, but he gets
He
separation.
can get separation and get you 10, 15 yards every catch.
Abuke's just not.
No, he's not played.
Not doing it. And Jordan Fleming, get that guy. Just get him on. Like, I don't know how many drops he had yesterday, but
It's rough.
yeah, it was rough.
We'll digress. We'll move on. We had a bunch of upsets yesterday. Two big ones. Notre Dame upsets Clemson. Either of you guys watch that game? See what?
Yeah, Notre Dame, 85 yards passing. 85 yards passing. He beat Clemson. They're bombs. Get them out.
Might be the most overrated team in college football.
Yeah, definitely. And we
Does that make the Ohio State one look better?
Has to make it look
It
better.
has to make it look better because what were they, 4? What were they ranked?
Yeah.
Yeah, has to make them look better. But again, if you really think about it, we thought Notre Dame was really good coming into the season.
I mean, I don't know why we thought
They
that.
just, well, I mean,
First
listen,
year head coach, he's never
we
been a head
did,
coach.
but college football.
Yeah, they did.
Notre Dame's always a little, to me, they're always a little bit overrated.
I agree.
Because everybody remembers the 90s Notre Dame when
Right.
Lou Holtz is Notre Dame.
Yeah.
It ain't them.
Right.
They just don't get the athletes. Like, you can watch the games. Like, they played well yesterday defensively. But offensively, still, I mean, it wasn't great spread out 5-wide football. I mean,
Run the ball down your throat.
you can see some better offense in high school. Absolutely.
For sure. Second big upset was LSU beat Alabama. I wish I could say that I think this eliminates Alabama from the playoff, but it's Alabama. They always try to find.
Well, I'm sure. Like,
College football loves Alabama.
I'm sure they'll make a 2 seed, 2 losses somehow.
And like Alabama didn't look good either. Like
No.
LSU pretty much dominated that football game, and then come up and hit the big 2-point conversion to win it.
Yeah.
It's not much more you can ask for if you're LSU.
And listen, how good is LSU?
Yeah,
LSU ain't going to.
Well, that's like we talked last week. We said, is the Big Ten good? Is the SEC good?
Not as good as people think.
No. I'm actually like very disappointed. Like looking at their, like it's pretty much they're just beating up on each other. Like I mean, at least in the Big Ten, you got Michigan and Ohio State.
Right.
Right now, you don't know who you got in the SEC. Tennessee loses. Like who?
So Tennessee should be out.
I think
like,
they'll
no
be the
way,
fourth.
no
I think
way.
they'll be the fourth.
No. So who's the one? Georgia?
Georgia. I think they jump Ohio State. Ohio State stays at 2.
I can see that, but I see Georgia taking number 1. You think?
Yep.
You think Tennessee drops 4 spots to 5?
I think they go to 4.
Okay.
So,
I think it's going to be between Michigan, Tennessee, and TCU for the 4th spot. I don't see them putting TCU in yet. I think they go undefeated. You can't keep them out, right?
Well, I mean, if they go undefeated, they're probably
TCU?
because either Michigan or Ohio
I mean,
State.
I don't put them in.
Well, I'm just saying, if they go undefeated, either Michigan or Ohio State's going to lose.
Yeah.
So that's
Like, let's put 4 teams in that can win the national title.
Oh,
Georgia?
I agree.
Ohio State.
Ohio State. I mean, Ohio State's going to beat Michigan, so Michigan will be out. Your SEC team.
I mean, that pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. That's the end of it.
This is recorded. Like, I want you to. If it's the other way, we're watching this.
100%. 100%. I mean, I'm confident in the Buckeyes, so.
So I think,
I've only seen
that
them-
game will be close early. But like, I just think outside, Ohio State does something.
In my memory, I've only ever remembered them losing to Michigan once in my life.
I hope it's 70 and sunny too. I really do. This is a track meet.
But yeah, college football is. I mean, football in general this year is weird. Like the NFL is like, if you're a sports bettor, I don't want to touch anything. Like North Carolina or Carolina can show up and beat anybody, like, and they're one of the worst teams in football.
Yeah, listen, like the NFL to me, not 100%. Do I love the product that they put out every week? But like, man, like anybody could beat anybody. On like. How do the Atlanta Falcons have 4? Like, how is that? Like,
Well, they run the football well. But we'll digress. We'll move on to pro football talk as we've already started. Your Bears just shipped everybody out of town and brought in a receiver. So what's that about? Are they trying to be good or are they trying to be bad? Which one?
I don't know. Maybe that's a little confidence in Fields for the future. They finally got him a weapon. I still think they got a lot of work to do,
But is Chase? Is he a weapon? Like he had one good season in Pittsburgh. He had one good season.
Is he better than what Fields has?
Oh, 100%. You guys don't have any
Listen,
questions.
like I'm not in the Bears front office, but they traded a second round pick for him, so they must like someone.
I mean,
I don't know what it was like.
he
It wasn't good in Pittsburgh.
No, he had one good year, and then there's a reason they traded him away.
Right.
So
Well, I mean, Pittsburgh's in the same situation.
yeah, they're both teams are.
Right.
I mean, I still think your Bears will probably win 9-10 games. 9, 10 games.
They'll win enough and not have a good pick. So they do that to us every year. But
I mean, I do think you guys have your best chance in like a decade of beating Green Bay this year.
that's
They're bad. They're bad at football.
Well, listen, as bad as they are at football, they still beat the snot out.
They still have Aaron Rodgers.
That might be the one game Aaron Rodgers plays well.
Yeah.
That might be. He might only want to beat the Bears.
Yeah. I mean, he does own them.
He does.
He's in it.
He does. He did say he was. No one knows.
Cleveland Browns. I like the fact the way he carries himself. Like I don't give a crap about anything. Like I'll say I own the Bears. I'll go do mushrooms. I'll do whatever I want.
Listen, Aaron, he's a different animal.
Yeah, he's like you don't never know what you're gonna get with him. I'll go. Hey, I'll consider retiring host Jeopardy. Like Aaron Rodgers, you never know what you're gonna get.
It'd be the worst Jeopardy in the history of the
What about the Cleveland Browns? They upset I mean, our picks last week were horrible. Like, hey, we all got it wrong and the points weren't even close.
Listen, we got it really wrong.
Yeah.
Really wrong. Like, maybe we should just pick, like, we want them to win, or we should just pick against them every week.
Yeah, that's true.
That goes back to what we were talking about with the NFL.
You never
I
know.
don't know. Like the Browns are playing bad football. Going into that game.
But the
Bengals won a couple.
The Bengals are playing worse football.
Yeah.
Like Jamar Chase being out just shut their offense down.
Yeah, Joe Burrow
Lost. He didn't have his safety net.
He did not look like the World Series or the Super Bowl, like a guy that was just in the Super Bowl. Did
For
not.
sure. So what'd you see with the Brownies, Chad?
Myles Garrett.
Myles Garrett's a stud.
I thought the whole game turned on Myles. Like, there's times that I've seen in that game where the Cincinnati lineman is still like coming back to pass block. He's still coming back, and Myles Garrett's already turning the corner.
Yeah, right.
And so now, like Myles, he's just a freak.
Freak of nature. He's a stud. Like he's so much faster than everybody else on that line.
Yeah, if he was outside of Cleveland, he would be a superstar.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's a star right now, but
You talk about him like you do Aaron Donald.
absolutely you do.
Yeah.
Just he's never had a chance to really do it in the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. So we made our Super Bowl picks last week. After watching these games last week, are we still confident in what we picked? San Fran and
I am still. Listen, San Fran went in, beat the Rams.
well,
Bad.
the Rams are bad at football right now, though.
Right.
Well, it don't matter.
But listen, they did to a bad team what they should do.
Yes.
They beat them up.
Yeah.
And that's
One of my favorite quotes from Casey Stengel is, "You got to beat up the bombs."
Yep.
Yeah.
They beat them up.
Yeah. Listen, I want to say, I still don't. I know the Bills are really good. I get it, but until you beat Patrick Mahomes,
Oh no, I get. Yeah, no, I absolutely.
I'm gonna go. I'm still going San Francisco
And
Kansas.
listen, the Bills is kind of a good bull pick because I just think it would be neat for that franchise to finally win one. That fan base is crazy. Let them get one. So yeah, I'm not going out saying, hey, the Bills are definitely the best team in the NFL. They're going to just dominate the Super Bowl. But it was a good bull pick.
No, yeah, I get it. Listen, they look like the best team in the NFC.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree. They look like the best team in the AFC. I mean, it's them and Kansas City. That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, the other teams that you thought would be good, Baltimore.
I think Baltimore has a chance to still play.
They have trouble staying healthy, though. That's their biggest issue. Like, their players are injury prone, and it's hurt them the last couple of years.
They're going Smith's big, though.
Yeah.
NFC, though, I agree. I think the AFC is strong, but the NFC is kind of crazy right now. You got the Vikings, who only lost.
Don't ever trust Kirk Cousins. I don't trust them. Listen, man, I like them. I like Adam Thielen, Justin Jefferson.
Justin Jefferson, a stud.
Stud. Dalvin Cook. They have all the weapons. I don't trust Kirk Cousins.
No, and no one should.
Not in the playoffs.
No. But, like, their only losses to the Eagles, who, I mean, it's hard to say they're not the best team in football right now. Right now, they are.
Listen, again, they are. They're 8-0.
Yep.
But Jalen would be a playoff game.
Prove it on the big stage.
Yeah,
Yeah, 100%.
absolutely. They play good defense though.
They do play good defense.
So, Chad, do you think the Browns can slide into one of those 2 wild card spots?
No.
No? Why not?
Just not consistent. Like I don't know what Cleveland Browns team I get.
That's
Every
true.
week.
I mean, you'll get the crazy defense out of Myles Garrett. I mean, I think that's Jacoby's best game.
Yeah, listen, if you're going to go to, I think if they're going to win a wild card, I don't know that switching quarterbacks in week 13 is the answer.
Well, especially when he hasn't played for 2 years.
Right, like you don't think he's going to need a game or two
We're going
to get comfortable? They are. They don't care for them.
I mean, you paid him way too much money.
Right.
What do you think,
Listen,
Chuck?
I think they got to go on a bit of a streak. I think they got to, like, I know Chad said they play a little inconsistent. They do got to fix some things. I don't think it's out of the realm. Maybe take one of the wild card spots, and then you talked about the Ravens being healthy. They're not running away with the division. I think there's hope, but again, Watson's going to have to be the man, and they're going to have to win a couple. They can't be spotty.
For sure. We'll digress and move on to some NFL football picks, or Monday night and our Thursday night football. Josh, who we got on Monday night?
Ravens.
Who's playing?
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't
Play the
matter.
Saints.
Ravens versus Saints.
Famous Janus.
Listen, I think the Ravens win. I just think they're better.
I mean, the Ravens are better. Are we
They-
sure it's
they
going to be
got
Jameis,
the-
though?
No,
it's not going to be Andy Dalton.
No, it's not.
Andy Dalton.
I just like
Red
Jameis.
Rocket.
If Jameis wins the
I'm gonna take the Ravens as well. You got points?
Let's go 28-10.
28-10 Ravens. I'll go 35-14. Ravens.
I'm gonna go with the Saints.
Gotta go with the
I'm
Saints.
gonna go with the
Just
Saints.
because you can't go Ravens.
I could go Ravens.
The Hardball,
Listen, I
that's
think the Ravens could be dangerous in the playoffs.
I like them.
Yeah. But listen, like I was really wrong about the Browns and the Bengals, so I'm just gonna go the Saints in an upset, 24-21.
24-21. All right, move on to the Thursday night game. Who we got there?
Ooh, toilet bowl. Falcons, Panthers.
I mean, the Falcons have played way better than what they are. They've won more games than they definitely should have.
Yeah.
Marcus Mariota. That's all I need to say.
Yeah.
Marcus, like, you can win NFL games on that guy?
I mean, who's the quarterback for Carolina right now?
Yeah.
Do you even know his name?
Doesn't even matter.
I mean, they got Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield. I think his name's P.J. Walker.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I'm actually going to take the Panthers here, just because I mean they are very. I mean, they've won games they should have. And this is a total bowl, and I'm going to take them 28-14.
Listen, I'm gonna go with Falcons. Marcus Mariota.
That's your guy? That's your guy?
Yeah, he gets it done. Gets it done.
What's the score?
7-3. Defensive classic. Defensive classic.
All right, Josh.
I'll go Falcons. Win on the road. 17-14.
17-14. All right, and to close out, I want to do a little segment. We're going to pick our national champions for college football. Who's going to win the national championship? I'm going to take my Ohio State Buckeyes.
I would take the Ohio State
Who
Buckeyes.
you got, Josh?
Michigan Wolverines.
Oh my goodness.
Michigan Wolverines. You heard it here first.
Upset.
You can't be
Upset.
So you're saying Michigan will beat Ohio State?
Yeah.
Okay. He's just.
What?
Listen. I'm a Michigan Wolverine fan. I'm confident. I'm all in. All
When was the last time Wolverines won the national?
in. 1997.
So I was
Charles Woodson?
I was two.
Yep.
I was 2 years old. 2 years old.
I was older than two. But I remember.
Listen.
I remember the Rosens, man.
Can Ohio State win? Yes. Can Georgia win? Yes. I mean,
That's not what I asked.
I don't think it's out of the realm for any of those teams to win. But right now, I'm just rooting for a team.
Listen, I get it. I mean,
Can I be a homer?
If you're a homer, you'd be a Buckeyes fan.
Oh, no, I'm not a Buckeyes fan.
Yeah, I mean, you would.
So you're not at home. You're an out of
I'm
town.
a homer for my team.
All right.
Not everybody wants to be a winner.
That's true. That's true.
Obviously, I'm still rooting for Michigan.
And the Bears,
And the Bears.
who haven't been good since the Super Bowl shot.
All right, again, thanks everybody for tuning in, watching this episode. Thanks again to Nellie's Hideaway, located in Mansfield. Make sure to go get the coldest beer in town
And a point burger.
and a point burger.
Really good food.
You heard it here first.
Thanks, Denny.
Again, this will come out every Monday morning, so be sure to tune in. And thanks for watching.
See you guys.
Bye.
See ya.